How's it going, everyone? Mountainspyder here, and yeah, jumping straight into Frostpunk. So this game's going to be dealing with basically just how to start a game, because Frostpunk, really, your first 10-15 minutes really are important to later on down the line. For those of you who don't know the game, Frostpunk is a post-apocalyptic survival game, or city building survival game. Which is an interesting spin on the series, because I don't actually know another game that's like it. So kind of like, think along the lines of SimCity, mashed up with the board game Dead of Winter, but without the zombies. So I will do just intros and playthroughs later, but I figured that a how-to would be a good idea, because this is a relatively new game and there's not a lot of guides out there. A new home is just your basic scenario that you just have to survive past a storm. But basically what I want to do with this video is just show you your base, a good optimized loadout for your town, and just basically how to start with your resources. Now, straight off the bat, you're not sitting with a lot of resources, but you're sitting with a lot of people. And the best thing to do is, I was actually hoping that would be coal. Wood. Okay. So, right off the bat, first thing to do is actually get your resources going with the gathering post around these three. Just because it really does speed up your life. And then plan where your road's gonna go, because I can get this tent here, and then the next tent over here. So where that line is where I want to have my road going to that certain one. So I'm actually gonna drop my tent here just to make planning the road a bit easier. Come on, just going along that line. Now I know I don't have enough, but I know now where it goes. So I can cancel that. I know that's where my road's going to be, and it's not going to interfere with my tents. Now, the reason I say that's important is because when it starts getting cold, you need to have as many of your residential areas around your core as possible, for the simple reason that your people are going to freeze. Now, your basic... I can't actually put it on, so I've got 10 wood going. And then now I just want to send out people to just get some coal going as well. So I'm trying to leave as many engineers as possible for that area there. And now what's cool is, so you'll see here, so the guys are going and building the road to this building. And if they start walking a bit faster, you'll see they start trudging straight through the snow. Now, it is a lot better for your people to be going along a road and to a gathering post, because if you're looking inside a gathering post, it's livable, so your people aren't actually suffering from the cold as much. So running them through the snow is really not a good idea long term, and really it is a short term solution for here, because the more, well, if your people start getting sick, your people are going to be very, very unhappy. I'm also got a second wood crate going with the rest of my people for now. Yeah, I think they're coming pretty quickly. Now, what makes this game difficult is that no matter what choice you make, it's going to be a bad choice. So now you can either implement child labor, or you can do child shelters. Now personally, I prefer doing child shelters, but obviously it puts more pressure on you. I can't bring myself to bring in child labor. So with this game, you've really got to plan your settlement, because your city management becomes so important later down the line. So now it's going into night time, so I'm going to try and get some of these tents going so people don't freeze to death. As you see there now, because I plan where that road goes, I'm not losing out on a space around here. Now, because I've got effectively got 3 wooden crates going, I should be able to finish this objective without too much. I only need to provide 8 shelters. Now, I gathered more than 40 wooden the one single day, in half a day. So I feel quite confident that I can gather another 40 wood in the next day. Oops, I forgot to turn the heating on. And keep in mind, you want to have your tents going as soon as possible, because if your people are sitting outside in the cold, they get sick a lot more easily. And their people are getting sick already. Because they're sitting out in the cold at minus 20 degrees. Unfortunately, there's no way I could house everyone on the first day. But for the first day, for the start, you need to make sure that you can your first set of roads don't interfere with your building pattern. And now, so as you, my first ring of houses. Also, I'll highly suggest bringing this in the engineer apprentices for this game. Research really makes a difference. You need to have the highest tech possible. What I was saying with these is you want to have your first 2 rows intense. So you don't want to then go and build, for instance, Hunter's Lodge is 3 tiles long. Not 3 tiles long. So you don't want to have one of these in the second row or in the first row, because then it completely stuffs up your planning. So if I were to put one here, my second row would then be too far back and wouldn't be heated. So what I want to do is I do need to get a medical post going at some stage. So let's get the 25 wood for that. And 25 medical post is the same size, so it's not going to cause a problem with your building pattern. Now do keep an eye, because I need to provide shelter. I'm halfway there, so I'm not terribly stressed about it. But keep in mind, whenever building things, and always just keep in mind the pattern you're going for later down the line. You can't just be building for now, you've got to be building for 10-15 days down the line, because things go south very often. And you see there, because I didn't use any oddly sized buildings or anything like that, I was able to have a full pattern, a full ring around my core. And there, shelter promise fulfilled, and my hope rises quite nicely. Now, I need to find where my engineers are at, because I need to man this medical post. One quick way to find where your engineers are is if you hover over your population, it tells you where all the people are working, with a cog symbol around the fist being your engineers. So now I've got 5 engineers here, so I'm going to get rid of those 5 and put them into the medical post. And now at least my medical post is sorted out, is manned. So the quick tip, just for getting that first ring down, is not putting oddly sized buildings down in the beginning. You can start doing it from the second row, but it'll be a good idea to have, again, check here. So I need to go 2 tiles down the line to start my first road. So first do this, it'll be 1, 2, let's start it here. Because I know I'm going to be getting a Hunter's Lodge in a second. So I was putting that road there just as a guideline for where I can stop the next buildings, because I don't want to be putting it, I want to be having another row of tents over there. So I don't want to be putting not Hunter's Hut, a house there, because it would stuff up my planning for down the line. So what I'm doing is planning to put it over there. Because unfortunately now my guys are going to start getting hungry quite soon. So what I'm going to do is pull these guys actually off the coal for the moment, just because I've got more than enough of it, and move them across to the wood, which is what I desperately need right now. Because as you can see, our people are getting hungry already, and hungry people are unhappy people. So this should be built relatively soon. I actually missed the proc, I should have done it yesterday, but I was more concerned with getting the housing promise fulfilled, because I actually still need to get the child promise. Now again, the child shelter is an odd shaped size, so I'm going to put it in my third row, third ring rather than second ring. Okay, another easy one to get early off is a cemetery. I try and go for as good a build as possible when it comes to this game. Just 'cause I don't like being complete dick in this game. Like, the choices you make are quite hard. So therefore, your early starts, make sure you've got early resource management. It's not hard getting your core up that high. And now I can actually start getting a Hunter's Hut going as well. Now the thing with Hunter's Huts is they don't actually require much heat to operate. So putting them in the third circle is not a problem at all. Now the only issue is I haven't actually researched haven't actually got research going yet, which is my biggest issue. Because now I've got the problem where... come on. I'm sitting with the problem that I've got my... my cookhouse at the back here, and unfortunately hit at the same time as the storm that came in. So that's not actually reheated, which is a problem. I need to actually pull people off of these because with the storm coming in now, it's just too cold to work. Ah, come on, man. Yeah, that's fine. So unfortunately, people are actually hungry for quite a while now, which is not ideal. But once I get everyone on here, we'll be good to go. Reason I go for funeral homes is just because it helps people remain a bit happier. How am I out of engineers? Oh, I've got 10 in here. I thought I had 5 in here. I need to get heaters. Or actually going straight to steam hub might be better for me. So let me go for a straight steam hub. Actually, I didn't realize I only had so few engineers. So I was just finishing the Arc campaign where you actually just have engineers. So these are not actually going to help me at all for quite a while. So I'll just get rid of them and go from there. Sure, there's a few quick tips and tricks. Like I said, it's not going to be a very long video, so I'm actually going to stop it here and do another tips and tricks video later on. So the short and sweet of this video is make sure you plan where your housing is going to go. So make sure your first ring really is either pretty much just primarily medical and housing, because it gets cold way too quickly for it. And a quick way to check is in this menu you can see what's providing heat or not. Now generator, as you can see, that only provides a heat in that inner ring. So literally, unless I put this cookhouse all the way forward, it wouldn't have helped. Unfortunately, it's a bit slow. I wasn't paying attention to when the cold was coming, but yeah, there we go. So try and have it so that you can have your first and second rings being residential, because it's going to get cold again pretty soon, and you're going to be able to bring in more people. So plan ahead. Make sure your first 2 rings are just two square sized buildings, and then from your third ring outwards, you're going for the much larger buildings. So I hope this helps you guys to be starting out with Frostbite. There will definitely be a lot more videos coming, as it's quite a complicated game and quite a difficult game. So thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers and enjoy.